guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House on the side of the tiny house roof. So the spot I picked for the StarLink internet is in between my basically my big living room window and the entrance, and you can see my stack here. The smaller stack is going to be going eventually. That's to the Cubic Mini Grizzly wood stove. That's going to be sold. And down there you can see the wind turbine chirping along. Now I'm gonna install the mounting bracket, the Volcano StarLink flat roof mounting bracket on my flat roof. And guys, I'm about to use a whole ton of this silicone, and basically I don't want to use these massive bolts through this roof because, yeah, it's just not going to be pretty, I'm telling you what. So we're going to avoid that, and we're going to use basically 1/4 inch galvanized 1-inch self-tapping screws with a washer, and we're going to put those down, if you can see this, down, and it just covers the hole nicely there, as you can see. Now the main thing is, when I do the install here, I'm going to be just plastering huge gobs of this silicone there over the screw holes basically, and then I'm just going to screw this bad boy in one at a time and add some more silicone on top. So let's get to her, guys. Just to kind of know where I'm at for reference, I'm going to shoot some there, shoot some there, make a mess of the bracket because I don't have a pencil up here. Should have brought a pencil, I guess. That would have been a hell of a lot cleaner than what I'm doing. So now I'm going to pop that off, and I kind of can see down here where I'm going to slop this silicone down. So I'm going to put a big gob here, big gob here, big gob here, big gob here, on and on and on we go. Okay, now I'm going to pull back on the silicone because that's going to be a mess. And I'm going to place this bad boy down carefully on top of the silicone holes. And you can see the silicone is oozing right out. And I'm going to attach the first screw right now. Okay, that's one. Let's get another one in there. And then I'm going to put some silicone on top of these screws as well. So they'll be a real nightmare to take out. Because I'll never want to do that, right? That's kind of the main thing. There we go. Got some all over the end of my drill bit. We're going to have more by the time I'm done though. Don't worry about that. So, once I'm done, I'm going to put some more on top of the screw heads, like I said. And the benefit of the silicone is it basically waterproofs the system like I'm doing here, showing here. And it adds more adhesion. What do I mean by adhesion? More strength of holding the bracket down to the roof of the tiny house. That's kind of the point. So I think we're doing good so far. So it waterproofs and helps hold it down because I'm using non-factory recommended hardware. But in this case, it worked for my solar panels up here all winter. I'm sure as hell gonna think it's gonna hold the StarLink, especially with this many screws and that much silicone. Whoops, make a mess. That's why you want to have some gloves or a rag around for this job. Oh yeah, get that rag handy. all over my gloves, and always have a paper towel handy, guys, that's for sure. I got a extra screw because I didn't know if I'd lose one or drop one, so that's what you see here. But final screw for the StarLink. Beautiful day, beautiful time, beautiful day at the tiny house, and I am very happy about it. So what I want to do now is basically I'm going to use the end of the silicone gun. It's been pulled back, so there's no silicone coming out of here, but I'm going to use some and cover. I'm going to use it to push as just a little stick to cover up the tops of my screws from the elements, so they'll be totally protected. And it's just a nice warm, tad windy day, but beautiful, because this is going to help cure this silicone. It'll be cured by the end of the night for sure, and I'm going to give it a good 24 hours, so that's why I'm doing it now. So when I get back here tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, I'll be then hooking up the actual satellite Starlink internet dish to this bracket. So you guys want to hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for that. See how I manage it with this with this system. And as you can see, there's a little gap here and a little gap here for breathing, air to breathe through it, which I don't mind at all. I'm not going to seal this part or that part. Leave this open for good reason. I think that's a fairly clean job there. Throw this in my pocket, as well as I'll clean my silicone gun off. Maybe use that as a plug somewhat. Show you guys. So that's going to be super sealed, guys. So basically I just dropped my mount in here, and I think there's a bracket of some sort that goes through here to lock it in place, which I will look for. But yeah, this bad boy is pretty much covered. I think we're gonna be just fine and dandy, happy with that. This method ensures you will not have water penetration through your roof, especially a flat roof. So you put giant gobs of silicone down, the proper outdoor kind, that's a nice quality silicone, and then you just screw down, brush over the excess over top of your screws or bolts, and let her cure. So this aluminum roof is fairly warm. It's reflecting a lot of this heat away though because of this coating on here. The coating's kind of slowly fading away on me, but that's what happens, ultraviolet light. But anyway, this project's done for the day, guys. So I'm gonna need the rest of this silicone, which I bought, because my good buddy High-Tech Guy 18 Stu, he informed me that my plan of running the StarLink cable through the hole in the side of the tiny house that I ran all my off-the-grid solar setup through is probably not a good idea, because there will be EMF interference. So he is my go-to guru for anything electronics and beyond, and he's been a helpful, good, loyal friend from almost the start of the off-grid tiny house. Partially the way through, I met him. And he's been my guru. He basically designed my off-the-grid solar setup, and I've been learning along the way. And so big shout out to High-Tech Guy Stu, High-Tech Guy 18 Stu. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to punch a new hole separate just for the StarLink so it doesn't have that EMF interference. He's recommending about a foot away from any other power coming in, so any other EMF possible interference there. So I'm gonna go by what he says, and I'm gonna drill a hole a foot back from where the solar went through the wall, and make another mess. Figure out, and good thing I got plenty of silicone left, because I'm gonna have to seal that hole. And I also have to run my ground wire for my off-the-grid solar system, which will be running my StarLink. So the StarLink high-speed internet, guys, will be running completely off the grid, off of solar, giving me high-speed internet so I can continue my progress with you guys here online. So pretty sweet. Been waiting on the this is huge for me, because in Canada, good high-speed internet in rural areas or areas that are basically unserviced is a nightmare. This is basically the cheapest route you can go, and I look forward to it, because he's planning on increasing speeds and dropping prices as things progress, because I'm basically still in the beta. It's basically open beta now, but at least I got my equipment. We got my mount here in the curing process as we leave it alone for the rest of the night, and you can't beat it. Perfect day for this. I could obviously mount the satellite dish now, but it's a little windy for that, as you can tell from the wind turbine spinning like crazy back there, and you can probably hear it on the camera audio as well. So that's it for me here today at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Stay tuned, because tomorrow I'm going to be mounting the actual dish after I do some work over here, where I got to punch that hole like I mentioned, run my ground wire down, grounding my electrical system to be safe, and go from there. And then eventually we will figure out how to connect it, how I can connect to the internet here at the Off-Grid Tiny House. And then from there on out, guys, I don't have to touch this bad boy unless we get a brutal snowstorm. Then I'll have to clean off the dish. So please stay tuned, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, shoot me that like, thumbs up button, because that all helps on my videos. Appreciate it. Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.